this, if you go to stevelaffey.com, I'm the only candidate who wants to really fix and strengthen and modernize Social Security. In a program that, if you're 48 years old, could you get less? Yes. If you're already retired, you're gonna get what you get. If you're 20, are you gonna get 5 times more in 40 years? Yes. So I can't, the thought process that we can't tell people the truth is what I do. I don't have people know, I don't have a bone to like say everything's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be okay. When I talk about the Federal Reserve, and the Republican policy should be the Fed only does money and keeps it at 0. Where did they get off saying 2% was price stability? Did that sound okay? Like when they say things 1,000 times, people in this room generally don't say, well, oh yeah, price stability. That means no inflation. It means the same cost. Do you know what they say at the Federal Reserve, by the way? They try to tell you that if prices went down, the world would end. Deflation's the worst thing they ever thought of. The biggest growth of the United States of America was the 1880s, where we had nothing but prices going down. Biggest growth, real growth, the greatest increase in income in the United States history is the 1880s. So what they try to tell you is something that is so stupid. Like, okay, so you go out and buy a new car, you're looking at a $46,000 car, and your wife says, honey, next year it's gonna be $45,500, we better not get it today. No, you need a car, right? So the whole thing that's been said to the American people for so long is stupid. And so how can we stop this erosion of the middle class that's been destroyed mostly by the Fed and by Washington, and get young people to have a future where they actually care? That's what I'm about, and that's what my policy's all about. If you went to stevelaffey.com and look at the 5 policies, it's a cycle of death. The public schools, the Fed, China, communist China, not just China, communist China, right? I'm old enough to know my dad would call it free China, and communist China, he would say this, all right? And it's about these issues that are on my website, the corruption in Washington. That's why I chose these 5 that no one else is gonna talk about. Because if I catch on, it's because people finally say, you know what, that guy's right. What the heck are we doing with this Federal Reserve talking about unemployment? That's the job of Congress. The Fed's supposed to handle money, and keep inflation at 0. So remember this one thing about the Fed. Inflation's probably going away pretty soon. But they don't give you the money back. If you're making 60 grand, you had $4,000 increase alone in energy cost in Rhode Island, you don't get the money back, just so you know. They just took it, they gave it to rich people who had bought silver or some commodity, right? And you never get it back. That's what the Fed does. That's what we have to stop.